What do you think when you pull up? Spit it out!
Where's Nick?
You're going like this.
We're gross.
Like, where did you get that from? I don't just have that up here. You know what I'm saying? So, episode 3. We're here. We got our coffee.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. As you
Thanksgiving.
touch each other, please. I'd like to see it.
Okay.
No, sorry everyone that's waiting on Dayle to get on here. Episode 3, spit it out. Now she's not on here because she got pink eye. Now I know what people are gonna think. No. All right, I didn't do that. I didn't go on. I didn't put my ass in her face or fart or anything like that. She did it on her own. She went down there. The place that she didn't want to go.
How's that work out? How do you give your own self pink eye?
Okay, so you know
explain.
Okay, pretend your knees are to your ears.
Oh, so like.
Yeah, so pretend Lindy is like.
Okay.
Really? Yeah, I'm just playing. Now the kids have been sick. Kids have been sick and stuff. I actually just dropped Crew off with my parents so she can relax and stuff. And she said she's cleaning. I said, good girl.
Well, you're supposed to do your job.
But we have Nick on. Like this is Nicholas. Meet our friend
Nick. Hi.
Now we brought him on
How
because.
How disappointed are you that it's me and not Dayle?
Listen, I wake up to her and I go to sleep with her.
Yeah.
You. Sometimes I don't know where you are. Where's Nick? Because we have a lot of similar topics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about traveling. We're going to talk about being in sports, injuries.
Yep.
All right, which we'll have some more athletes and friends on the podcast in the future about that stuff, going through some adversity and all that. And then we're going to talk about me and Tate going to Vegas soon. Not together. He didn't want to go the time I was there, so it's whatever.
I can try to make it happen.
All right. It's okay.
But you could also stay like 2 days longer, and that's when I'll get there. But you don't want to do the Vegas thing with me because it might get a little slippery. I'm kidding. Ride a horse.
All right, yo.
There we go.
Tate was in a mood this week.
I was. I've been traveling a lot, and I've traveled here.
Must be tough.
Busy, tired.
Busy.
Yeah.
And I was just kidding. I was playing around.
No,
but
you
then
weren't.
y'all came back with like you're two of my fathers, and I'm the little kid. I was going like this.
I am your father.
I said,
I was gonna say. Nick
I said, Lindy, I'm in
dad.
trouble. I don't know what I said.
I'm in trouble.
So
did she put you in timeout and say, "Yeah, I think you
get
are"?
put in timeout like a little schoolgirl a lot, and I cry, but it's a good cry. I leak, not from my
tears come out of your penis, not your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm sorry. We're not going to talk bad today because Nick doesn't like that stuff. Look at him. He's already. Honestly, he gets embarrassed.
Nick keeps us on track. He keeps us in
does.
line, and that's why he's here, and we love him for that. We love him for a lot of things.
You're here.
A lot of people. What?
That's why you're here this week.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Nick got Tate
I'm
a
here.
flight.
He did. He got me here on Southwest.
Because Tate wasn't going to come.
Now, here's the thing, though. I wasn't coming. I was coming another way.
And
but
what?
He waited 4 days after he told me he was going to get the flight, and then all of a sudden, Tate, you got to fly into Tampa, or here's the other thing, brother. You got to take 3 flights to get here.
But he was trying to help the payment issue too. If you didn't,
yeah,
we're getting you.
No,
here.
I'm very appreciative. I'm very grateful.
But did you want to be here?
Absolutely, I always want to be here. I always want to be here. There's things in life.
I knew that shit was coming. Knew you were gonna come.
Okay.
So we'll start out. I think I want to start out with sports and growing up in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Since Nick's like 40 something, he's the oldest. I'd say let's start.
He's not.
He's not.
He's still in his 30s.
Oh, okay. Let's start with Nicholas D'Amico.
D'Amico. What a last name, dude. The Italian
That was
stallion.
weird, that boat.
You're Italian, right? D'Amico?
We had a friend send us a picture of a boat or a barge the other day, and it said his last name exactly with the apostrophe and everything.
You bought it.
Somebody pay me.
Yeah, that's your boat.
How much would you want to be paid?
I don't know.
Did you hear it?
Was that fart?
I just shitted.
Okay. Nick, where'd you go? Obviously, okay, you played baseball. Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played a little football, played a little...
On Thanksgiving, probably.
Mostly baseball.
Little wide receiver. God, catch it.
Center fielder, right?
Center field.
All right. So
That's right.
in
I
high
was
school,
also a center fielder.
I'd like to know, in high school, did you start getting recruited, all that stuff? How did it come about? Sophomore year, junior, senior? What? Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started playing a lot when I was a sophomore.
God, I started as a
And
sophomore.
Then I was playing second base, shortstop, and then I moved to the outfield my senior year.
Okay.
And then
Sounds a lot like me.
college,
Like Miles Straw, but 2 feet tall.
Yeah, you played JUCO, right?
played JUCO for 2 years, and then I transferred to a small school up in Arkansas.
Oh, I didn't even know Arkansas. I didn't know that.
I won 2
Hillbilly
conference gold gloves.
Oh, that's the one I saw
That's
in your
national.
house.
Nasty.
That national.
Yeah, it
gold
is the
glove
one we
you
saw.
in my house.
God, you're.
That's pretty good. Now, how many people get that?
1 per position.
Okay.
Per year.
That's what I wanted to hear. It's just so so some of our viewers
But that's
know
out
how
of
hard that is.
one per position out of how many?
conference.
You know,
No, out of
the whole
country.
The whole country. Yeah.
Well, the conference gold gloves were from the conference.
Okay, yeah, that's what.
But the one that you
National
saw in my
one.
house.
Yeah, that's fat.
Yeah,
I think the
it's dumb.
glove was big though. Like I don't know if my hand could fit.
No, I'd kind of like to sit in it
no,
and do some things. I want to be called.
I would be gone. but that's cool. And then tell us how it transformed into pro and all that. Obviously, talk about your injury and whatnot.
Yeah. Drafted by the Padres.
Hell yeah.
Played a couple
Yeah.
years.
It's
Minor
not
leagues.
easy. It's not.
No.
I didn't get drafted.
I mean, it's hard. Yeah,
It's tough,
it's
yeah.
hard, bro. I just got lucky. They
Tough
came
game.
to a game that I
Went
fucking
off?
balled out.
And you were fast.
Fast.
You're fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
And thick.
Yeah. Let's talk about a little thickness.
All right. So
No,
drafted in what were you? What
I
round?
got hurt
Yeah.
late. I was small school. So
Yeah.
Got hurt. Bonus babies. Played
What'd
the
you do?
outfield.
Yeah.
You don't play too much.
Yeah.
If you got to take advantage of the opportunities.
Right.
Of course. And how
That's it.
and how'd
Kill
you
you,
deal
dude.
with
That's it.
that with adversity? Because obviously, in the time, you're probably thinking, "I want to play baseball, and that's my goal. Go
Yeah.
to the pros, lead up."
Yeah.
So what? So as you were dealing with that, obviously, because we both come from injuries too. Obviously, we know how depressing it is, kind of. So what?
my gosh.
What were you going through? How'd you think to yourself? Oh, well, now I got to lead on to some different things. Obviously,
Yeah, it's hard. I think
It's
there's like
crazy.
a psychological
Dude, it's-
thing once you're done playing, like a part of you like is gone.
Gosh.
a lot of people that get injuries probably could go see a therapist. I'm not kidding.
I should have.
Because I
Even-
was upset.
People that even just stop playing, like even if it's not an injury, if you're just released or you retire, like you miss the playing in front of all those people,
The
Yes,
brotherhood,
the teammates,
dude,
yeah.
locker rooms. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
The competing. I miss the competing, bro. Just being able to go out there and compete every day.
Yes,
God.
and that's why we love
Get
golf.
therapy.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, get therapy.
Yeah, I think I needed it because I didn't know what depression or anxiety was until I
Same.
was done playing. And I remember I was at my buddy Bruce's apartment, and I went to the bathroom, and we were just talking about us being, because he played lacrosse. We were talking about us being done, playing, and I had an anxiety attack, and I was face down on the floor. Never,
Gosh, I've
never in my
seen you
life
face
ever
down
had
on the floor, but it ain't from
It was
anxiety.
tooted, wasn't it? Yeah, but like I remember I started praying. I was like, God, am I dying? Like,
What?
You ever had an
Bad?
anxiety attack
What?
where, dude,
I had an asthma
hit-
attack,
hit
but I don't know
me.
if it was anxiety.
No, it was anxiety. I was face down. I got up, looked in the mirror, and I said, dude, I just had an anxiety attack. Called my mom. There was other things going on in my life, but I was done playing. It was my first year not ever playing baseball, and I was like, yeah, I'm having anxiety attacks.
You know
now.
what?
That's
Another
pretty
thing,
cool.
I think, because our personalities, I think me and you are always up, and we got. Oh, are you guys ever sad, ever mad, all this
Yeah.
stuff, and you
Yes,
go through a
the
time
answer-
where you
the
want
answer is yes.
You want to,
Yes.
I'm just kidding. But you go through
Don't point
you're
at
in
him.
you're in a certain mood all the time, but then you're not playing or something happens in your life, and you're like, damn, and then you just can't be yourself.
No.
But
I had to. It took me like two years till. Well, honestly, it was, it was when I met you and Garrett and all them. I kind of started being myself
Yeah.
again because y'all brought that personality back out of me. But like, yeah, dude, for a while there, I was like, goodness gracious, this sucks. I remember going to my coach because I was trying to coach a little bit at St. Leo where I graduated from, finished my career at, but. remember telling him, I was like, bro, I'm depressed. He's because he played pro ball. He's like, it happens.
Yeah.
Some people, more than others. And I was like, yeah, well, I just had an anxiety attack the other night. He's like, really? Yeah, I'm dying. I want to play.
Yeah.
But
it hurts.
Sucks, man.
Where'd you start? Where'd you go to high school and stuff?
I played at Crestview High School, home of the Bulldogs, baby.
And then what about recruiting wise for you?
Well, honestly, I didn't go to a lot of camps.
Yeah.
We were kind of a small school, but I had, one offer, and it was.
There wasn't a lot of options like there is today. Today there's recruiting services, there's perfect games.
We didn't have that.
It's crazy.
And we didn't really have a lot of coaches coming to watch us play, but we were ending up 24 or 26-4. We were pretty nasty. And my name got out there. I made the All-Star game, and I played in the All-Star game. Actually, played in the home run derby and didn't win though. But I wasn't really a home run guy. But after that, I got a tryout with Pensacola State, which is where I ended up starting. Pensacola State, signed with Nicholls State, got a red shirt there, and decided to go back to Florida and finished at St. Leo University. But
hell yeah,
I didn't get drafted. But I had a labrum tear in high school actually, and it actually happened in football. And going into football, or it was actually spring, we were doing football and baseball. And I couldn't throw the ball. I was having to tell my shortstop, Roman Donifro.
Oh God!
I was like, when there's a ball hitting the gap, you gotta come out further. I can't get it to you. And finally, my coach realized, damn, you all right? No, something's wrong. So I went and got the MRI done, and the guy came back in, and he said, here's your labrum. He drew a circle. He erased the whole top part. He said, that's gone.
Yeah.
He said, every time you throw a ball, it's just flapping. I said, I can feel it. Yeah. Ended up, tearing my labrum, having surgery, but that kind of hurt me because all through my college career, it never got 100% better. It stayed at 60, 70%. Yeah. I couldn't throw it worth the crap. But, everything happens for a reason.
It does.
Because we're here now. Because what if we both would have went, all three of us would have went pro, we wouldn't have met each other maybe,
That's true. Probably not.
Probably
be
not.
honest.
No.
Nope.
Because I'd be playing for the Braves, living in Atlanta. Being nasty. What up, Acuna? You want to go get some dinner? Yeah, I do.
No injuries. I just remember me being hurt. And the thing is with me is, my quad. So I tore my rectus femoris. And the thing with me is in high school, just it feel like it came easy. I mean, I was a kicker, whatever, just get your stats in, all that. And I remember FAU coach came and visited. I think it was end of sophomore year, maybe beginning of junior, something like that. And when I went on the visit, I was like, I'm set. I don't want to go anywhere else.
FAU or FIU?
AU.
I thought you went FIU.
After I tore my quad.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, in high school, I was dead set. I was like, and I had bright futures and stuff. So even if I didn't get a full football scholarships, I already had academics and I could go there for free, basically, in state. So I basically committed and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, as I'm talking to the coach, I'm always going to be, even if I get a preferred walk-on, but then I look at the roster and I see another transfer and all this stuff. And I'm like, my dad asked me, he goes, are you sure you just want to still go here? Because I was set for years.
Yeah.
Because the school's beautiful. FAU, they just got something
Boca's
built.
Boca Raton.
Built at the time. Well, I had my Pee Wee coach, Zach Hammond's dad, Joe. He his roommate was Coach Hazel. He coached at Kent State. He was at Purdue, Vikings wide receiver coach, all this stuff. Well, that was his roommate, and he told him he had a kicker down here you might want to look at because they had someone decommit or something. Mm-hmm. So they flew a coach down. I kicked in front of him. They flew me up the weekend right after and said they wanted me right away, so I signed with them right there. And the school was nice. I went up there, and it was snowing and stuff, so it was kind of cool to see snow, and I was like, I could use a little change of scenery and all that stuff. And then literally in camp, I was getting down from my bunk bed, and the day before it was hurting when I was kicking and working out. But I was thinking I'm sore because camp, you're working out morning, you're at night. It's just football before school starts. And I was getting down from my bunk bed. We had the stairs, so I'm getting down. I could hardly step down and use my quad to push down. I'm sitting there limping. I told the athletic trainers and all that I could hardly kick. I could hardly even whip back my leg. It would go back like this, and it would hurt like crazy. But I kept telling them, it feels worse than a strained quad. They kept telling me kick on it, but we won't kick far or something like that. Well, basically at the end of the season, I'm like, Coach, I can't kick. I'm going to go home and basically get this figured out and all this stuff. He goes, all right, well, you're welcome back, all this stuff. And then literally after I get home 2 weeks later, the same thing with you. The doctor circled my rectus femoris, which is the biggest muscle in your quad, and he goes, yeah, it's been torn, and it looks like it's been trying to heal for a whole year almost.
Golly,
so
dude.
like when we figured that out, obviously
Gosh.
my dad's pissed, I'm pissed because it just felt like I didn't get the help I needed when I said it was hurting that bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, D1 trainers
Yeah.
should have taken
Dude,
you off
that was,
better.
and like not being hurt your whole life and then not doing the thing you love, you know that you've been doing since you were like in Pee Wee and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, I mean, it sucks, especially when you can't perform at your like, what you've been performing the whole entire like basically career.
Yeah.
So it sucked. And then I tried to go JUCO route and do some stuff, which was funny. I went to ICC where they did the
Last Chance
Last
U,
Chance
Independence,
U.
yeah.
But I went there 2 years before they did it or something like that. And we hardly crossed 50-yard line. We hardly crossed 50-yard line. Bro, if you look us up,
Holy shit.
if you look us up,
yeah.
and it was crazy because so I wanted to go back to Division One, and my kicking coach, Coach Cornblue, shout out to you, brother. My kicking coach said, "All right, if you want to go back D1, you got to go JUCO route and then back because you can't go back to D2 and then back D1. It doesn't work like that." And with my academic scholarships, I had to stay in school full time. So I'm like, Coach, I need to go somewhere like ASAP after FIU didn't work out because all the coaches were caught with drugs and shit, I
Oh,
guess.
shit.
Or that was FAU after the fact. But
Yeah,
when I went to,
brother? You
Bro,
good?
Yeah. After I talked to the FAU coach to go after ICC too. That's what happened. They were caught with drugs and stuff, cleaned house. Okay. Sounds good.
And then they brought in that one coach that was on the Last Chance U. Is that?
Oh, at the ICC,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it was a weird experience. But with Coach Cornblue, he said, "Listen, if you're going to JUCO route, I know a guy, but get ready because you're about to get a bunch of calls." And I was like thinking, okay, I'll get some calls and see what they say. But it was unreal because he sent my tape out to this guy, which does a lot of recruiting, and I kid you not, I got like probably 20 to 30 calls within like 3 hours.
Good gosh, dude.
From D2 and he said, do you want D2 too? And he asked me, I was like, let's just see. And I had some offers from D2 and all this stuff, but I don't know what it was. My mind was just saying D1.
I was the same way.
So that's why I chose ICC. We looked at stats before and all this stuff, and I'm thinking just getting field goal range and I'll get my stats in, you know? I'm not looking for a place that, might score touchdowns every single drive and all that stuff. I'm just looking at, how much are they scoring? The year before, bro, they were scoring like unreal.
Yeah.
Then I get there and
Yeah.
Coach was about 80 years old.
Gosh.
Yeah. You see? You all? No, it was, dude, just the experience. I mean, because I went from Florida, obviously, Kenton, Ohio, then like Kansas, Miami. It's just, there was a lot of moving and going around trying to, complete the dream and all this stuff. And it's crushed. So
Yeah.
it sucks. It does. Dealing with injuries. I still feel it sometimes. I'll push open. I used to, after I came back serving and all that, I used to push open doors with my leg, to like go with trays and stuff outside. And I'll be like,
Yeah,
I still feel my quad when I squat, work out.
That's what
so
I was
it's never going
about
heal.
to say is it actually just started hurting again. Like that sharp pain where
Now when was it hurting?
Now, I went to do that one little move where you say, all right, yeah, take that leg. Okay, too far. Sorry. Don't want to get out of hand. No, but like I'll pick up in like we have a dog, Indy, and she's always wanting to play fetch, and I'll throw the ball. And dude, I think
That's
it was
how
like
you
2
heard
weeks
it?
ago. No, I think
Dog's
I did
name's
it.
Indy?
Indy.
Yeah.
Lindy?
Lindy and Indy.
Yeah, two girls.
And what are you?
And I'm just Tate. I'm nothing. I never will be anything. I never amount to anything. I'm nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm
Not
everything.
with that attitude.
I'm everything. I always will be. But yeah, I'm just throwing the ball, and I'm like, oh, dude, this feels like it did in high school. Like I'm doing it right now, and I can
That
feel
sucks.
it. Yeah, so I'm not ever doing surgery again. That was the worst pain of my life, and I have a high tolerance for pain. I really do. I'm not trying to just toot my own little horn there, but I do. I have a high tolerance for pain, and it was the worst. I remember I was in my little sling, laying in my bed at night, and I had tears running down my eyes at 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep because I was in that much pain. I'll never do that surgery again. They can kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass.
You ruined my
I
career.
never
You
did
didn't get surgery. I didn't either.
No.
He told me when I tore my quad, he goes, "You can get surgery. Am I going to say it's going to heal 100% or better if you just try to do therapy and all this stuff?" He said, "No." So I was like, okay,
You
then
could
what?
rehab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
and
they told me, brother, you need the surgery. You're never gonna play. You're not gonna be the same. I said, I plan on going to play college.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was my way out of Crestview.
Bye.
Yeah.
Or
that's
else I
different,
wouldn't have went to
though, 'cause
college.
You
'cause
could have.
I'm not a student.
That's different because I was at the end of my career.
Yeah.
Now,
And
were you a
like,
good
just
student?
starting
Starting.
years. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
different.
dude, it screwed me.
Tangled. How was your
I will-
grades? Were your grades good?
Bro, I'm smart.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
fucking
see,
smart. My parents.
I think I could be smart if I wanted to, but dude, they told me when I got to St. Leo, they said, "What's your major?" I said, "Baseball." What do you want to major in? I want to play baseball. Give me the easiest thing you have. I don't give a shit. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to class. I had to go to class though.
I'm tired.
We cut class to get ass. I'm busy. I'm tired.
No,
you
I'm
say
not.
ass?
Yeah,
What-
that's what he said.
We cut class to get ass. You ever seen
I know.
Wedding Crashers?
No.
So we cut class to get ass.
I love that fucking movie.
Not Wedding Crashers. Damn. American Pie. I'm an idiot.
Oh, I love pie.
I love Wedding
like
Crashers,
warm
though.
apple pie. Like
Yeah.
when you
Yeah. Now, okay.
some milk.
Ah, with some milk.
cream.
It
Heavy
is.
cream.
Christmas
What's it
is coming
sound
up.
like?
You
What?
need some milk.
What's it sound like?
We got some festive cups here. But yeah, my the thing with my I think
What about your grades?
there. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Don't touch me either. Please do it again. Actually,
I think I,
But my
I think
parents-
I finished like a 3-0.
so I'm glad my parents got on me about that shit because I think it set me up for college and with, I mean, just life. Because obviously, trying to get your grades done and trying to do good when you have, you know, you wake up, you got school, then you got football, and then you're trying to cram everything in.
Yeah.
I love cramming, but I love doing that. Like when it's late at night. But in all seriousness, you got to cram everything in there. Sometimes it's tight too, but you got to get your homework done. You got to study for tests. And I was National Honor Society,
What?
so
I
perfect
believe that.
attendance almost. I swear.
I believe that. Kids need structure, okay?
I did almost have purchase.
Okay, now show me
Kids
what.
Okay.
need structure.
Where are we going with
And
that?
you had structure.
Yes, I did, and I think like I said, it set me up for college because Kent State. What are we waking up? Oh, we're waking up at 3:45, 4 a.m. going right to workouts. Then we got school. Oh, we got practice right after school, and we still got to cram everything. Oh, we got study tables at this time. Don't make me laugh at study tables, Chad. You're gonna get in trouble. I remember when our whole freshman dorm got in trouble. Sorry, I'm off topic a little bit, but whole freshman dorm got in trouble, and we had to do one-legged bear crawls, 100 yards,
In
the
there.
next leg back.
No.
My hamstring
Been
and
there.
everything was so locked
I stayed
up.
in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't stay in trouble in middle school and high school because my
Yeah.
dad was the coach in middle school and a teacher.
My dad would have kicked me.
And I remember Miss Two. She was my
Miss who?
Miss Two.
Okay.
TEW.
Two what?
She was my math teacher.
To what?
And I always got in trouble in that class. And she would just send me to my dad.
Is there something
my
you're
dad had to
thinking
come out of
about?
history class, son.
Oh God.
Looking up, going, I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro. My dad scared
And
me
then
as a kid.
I was the quarterback, dude. And he's the head coach. But like after that, in high school, he came up to the high school. I was almost perfect attendance as well because your dad's the coach.
Yeah.
You got to
And
be on.
sports.
And my mom was the cheer coach, so I had to be, good. But I got to college.
What
Nobody was there.
Yeah. So
The coach that I had, we had to have like.
no.
I really was. I went to class. I'd doze off and head bobbing and shit because I don't know what you're talking about. No, I didn't read the chapter. No, I didn't do my homework. I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, I remember.
Ted, can you stand up and read chapter 5 for us, please?
Dude, I would freak out. You know me, I can talk to anybody. I can talk to the damn wall right there. But when it came to class, I was a different person. Because I remember at St. Leo, they'd ask me, Tate, can you answer the question? No, I don't know. It was always, I don't know. And everybody's just looking like, yeah. No, I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. I know. Dude, they'll just like pull an answer out their ass. Like, where did you get that from? I don't just have that up here. You know what I'm saying? Now you put me on a baseball field, you tell me this and that. Oh, if the drag bunt here, you got to go. No, I'm there. I know exactly what I'm doing. You put me in a classroom, I'm shitting my britches.
What are you hitting with? You're about 165 yards out, but from the sand, but there's water right in front of you.
165. What's the wind doing?
In your face.
In my face, 165. I'm hitting a light 8.
That's nice.
I'm hitting a light 8.
I'd probably hit a 7.
Light 8. Because usually from like 150 to 165, I'm a 9. You know.
It's pretty impressive.
I love golf.
See, people are good at different things.
Yeah.
Right. And like I wasn't the smartest person ever.
Yeah.
But like
You're probably one of the loudest.
I'll figure it out.
Gosh damn.
That was a joke.
See,
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. I didn't want to figure it out.
Some people are doers.
Yeah.
Some people are
And
not.
you just figure it out.
Yeah.
Finger.
I could figure it out in things that I want to figure it out in.
Right.
You know, like sports.
Yeah.
Say, you got a wheel route right here. You know, if he does this and that, you got okay. Yeah, I can figure that. I can get open. Tate, there's a guy on second. If the ball's hitting the gap, who are you throwing it to? I'm tossing his ass out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hitting
Maybe
the cutoff,
you should
man.
be a coach.
But you put me in a classroom, Tate. I don't want to figure that out because I don't need that in life. I'm sorry. I'm only going to get to play baseball 4 or 5 years, maybe. I can come back to school if I need
You've also
to.
figured out how to be successful on social media.
That's right.
You figured out how to get on a MTV reality show.
Sure did.
So I mean, you're selling yourself a little bit short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm selling myself short.
That
I would
confidence.
say like there was things that like if I'm not interested in it, I'm not. That's why I didn't get it about
The
school.
passion and
You
the
got to
love.
have this.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't.
Be a coach.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a coach at life.
I wouldn't.
You need life. You need life advice? Come to Tater, and I'll spit it out.
You are
That
pretty
was
good at
good.
giving advice. Honestly.
That was good. You know who's good at advice that's not here?
Dayle.
Dayle.
Good job, Dale.
Way to go.
Good thing you bent me over and fucking got pink eye.
Well, you didn't.
I can hear her
didn't
advice
have
now.
to do
Who
that.
gives
Huh?
a
You
shit?
didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do what?
Give her pink eye.
She wanted it.
Yeah, let's be honest with you. Let's be honest. You farted on the covers and you put her head in there and you trapped her, and she got pink eye.
What if she was holding the baby and doing stuff and the baby farted?
Well, it's your kid. I guarantee you that probably happened. She probably shit herself. I'll tell
Those
you this.
blowouts
I've
or
seen some
something.
of the shittiest shits from your kids. Last time I was here, Crew's whole back was covered in mud.
Bros, remember the picture too? The
And then,
FaceTime.
not even your kids.
His
I had
legs.
to pull shit out of your dog's ass.
Oh God.
I gagged.
saw
Dale,
that.
Dale has the video.
I saw that video. That's gross.
We were going to talk about this too. She said she was all
Damn,
excited
we'll
to
wait
talk
until
about
next
it.
time. Damn.
No, you can do it right now.
Okay, well, so Maverick, they have a dog named Maverick, and call him Little Mavy, and he's little though, he's a big dog. But he's walking around, and
I need a
you
big
can
dog.
tell he's kind of puckered up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh damn, he's got dookie coming out of his butt. Like he can't get it out.
kept coming
and
close
he kept
to
coming
us.
close to us. Like, can you pull it out, brother? Well, they're not going to pull it out. You know, I'll do it. Give me a bag. I walk up to the dookie hole. Okay. And I start pulling
With
my
a-
bag
with a
on it.
bag.
With a bag.
With a
And
grocery-
I start pulling. I can't get it out. And finally, I just, woo, and he went,
Yeah.
well, it
And
was a whole stick.
Stop
stuck in
eating
his ass.
fucking sticks. Stop having a fucking
And I
stick
just-
in your ass.
But of course, you know, I gag, dude. If there's any kind of dookie on my hand or if there's wads of hair,
Oh.
like I unclogged their drain in their old house.
We
there.
had an old house. It must have been from the people before us too, because we
Yeah.
just moved in like 2 months before.
Because it was black hair. None of y'all have black hair.
Pubes.
Yeah, but they were this long.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tarzan.
yeah.
with a hanger,
Yeah, I said, do you have
coat hanger.
a wire hanger?
Gosh.
And you know, I learned this from my dad. But you take the hook in, you shove it down in there, and then you just, and it just picks that hair and everything that's clogged up in there right out. Well, I pulled out.
Oh God. And it was
Everybody
holding
in
Tate
their
back. It was playing
grandma's hair.
tug of war with him,
Yeah, it was-
and he started gagging.
and it came out, and I'm talking about it was like that, and and of
It
course,
was a lot though. It
Dale
she
cries when
at
someone
gag,
gags.
Yeah.
And
Send
I'm
her a gagging video.
oh, dude,
She's done.
dude. There. I remember there's a
guy on
there's a
TikTok.
video of Crew
Oh.
when he was a kid, when he was a little baby. Remember when
Yeah. What was he doing? He trying to
He put the spoon in his mouth or something.
anyway.
Dude,
With his
his
tongue
whole
out.
face got red. I'll never forget that. I want to be choked. I want to be
I
gagged.
knew something was fucking coming.
I want to be gagged.
Some people like being choked, though. I mean, I feel like everyone likes being choked in some type of moment.
Do you?
What kind of moment? What kind of moment? I did have a teacher one time.
Did you ever have? I want to ask if you ever had crushes on any of your teachers, and I want to hear her name. So if she sees this,
No, I really no. Yeah. My 5th and 6th grade year for sure. I don't know if we should put that in there. Might get in trouble.
you made out.
Sixth
my
grade?
my,
How
my
old
6th
were
grade
you?
history teacher. Smoke show. Don't come into class looking like that telling me to flip to page 3. I'll flip the page whatever you want me to. Class, flip to page 3. I'm flipping.
I'll flip you.
I'm flipping in my shorts.
Graders.
Bro, middle school, there was
Yes,
a
bro.
bunch.
God,
I mean, come on. Nick. That's hilarious. Yeah,
High school, not really.
But when you're that young, you haven't really done anything before. So
Yeah,
what
'cause
do you
at
think?
12.
What do you think about when you're in 6th grade if you don't have experience?
I wasn't really thinking about too much, just like,
Her legs.
what do we do if we get in the locker room together? But then 8th grade hit, and it was like, gosh, because that's when I started beating it.
I don't even remember.
I'm sorry,
the first
Mom.
time I
Wrong with you
did.
two?
Sorry, Mom.
She walk
sorry.
in and catch you ever?
I never got caught. They knew what I was doing, though. I mean,
You always, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Today, yeah, you there in an hour. You in the shower
I'm watching
for an hour and 20.
watching music videos. What was I really watching?
Oh,
I never got into that. Watching stuff.
that's honestly that's good.
I never got into
Heard
that.
it fucks with you. It fucks with your head, and it's
No,
evil.
I never. Yeah, I never watched any of that stuff. I never needed that. Just picture in my head. Just. You know what I'm saying?
What would you picture? What would you picture in your head? What were you doing before you even knew what to do, though? Before you even did it, like how could you?
Dude, I hung out with a crowd.
What was this?
I hung out with a crowd that that was older than me. So like I mean,
You were watching.
I don't know.
them?
They would talk about stuff. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, oh, you don't beat off? No.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The first time I did,
I was kinda
thought it was
scared.
over. I thought it was over, and I went back to the living room. I was sitting there. I could just feel it still coming out. Like I was just like, what? Why is it still coming out? When's it gonna stop?
You just sit there going, fuck. I went to bed like this.
You probably woke up next morning, did
Did it again.
Okay.
Did it 3 times the next day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How do we get on this topic?
We're terrible.
Yeah.
We're terrible.
How did we get here?
But we
Yeah.
needed some laughs today. We
Yeah.
talked about some serious stuff, so I
Yeah.
feel like some laughs were needed.
Yeah, my mom
I'm
can't
crying.
watch this one. My mom
Yes.
can't watch this one.
She
Sorry,
watches
Nikki.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom can't watch. I'm
Nikki
sorry.
Ray.
Sorry. Sorry to my girl too. Yep.
We're both going to Vegas.
We are.
We're not even going to be there together.
Well, if you stay a couple more days, you'll see me.
I can't. Gotta make a quick trip. Got the kids.
You do.
I thought you were going the 6th and 7th too, though. You told me that originally.
Well, yeah.
You did.
I forgot my Roman.
Yeah.
Roman's birthday's the 7th.
Yeah.
And I'll be in my hometown. So I'm going to celebrate him,
So what are you going for?
I'm going for NF4. First time ever going to NF4, but it's a big old rodeo.
fun.
Very fun.
Got a lot of friends going.
Big time people going. I'm actually hooking up with Waterberg and Wrangler for a party.
Gosh, I can't believe it's building here.
Stetson.
Ooh, yeah.
The
Oh,
Stetson.
that's cool.
Yeah, Stetson.
Get you a hat.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man. And then Rock and Roll Denim. Yeah, they sent me some good stuff. I got a couple outfits from them, But I'll be, doing stuff like that.
I want to see
just
more
like events.
videos and more social media stuff this time because you don't get enough content.
Yeah, I'm
You're
not,
in the moment.
I'm not as
I know
good
you're
as
in the
you when it
moment.
comes to like.
Who's going with you?
I'm going with Lindy.
Tell her to-
and
tell
we
her
have.
to flick
we have-
you up.
She's good at
Yeah.
she's very creative and stuff. So she
Yeah,
does
yeah.
a bunch of my stuff, but
And she does a lot of videos, just even off the top. Play,
yeah,
record.
Yeah.
That's good.
but we'll have like the events that we're going to. There'll be cameras.
Yeah.
and there'll be people hooking us up with that. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be my first time going.
Dude,
and
I
then-
heard it's a blast.
Yeah,
We're
But-
probably going the 7th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get there the 8th, and then we leave the 12th. But then I head to Illinois. I'm going hunting.
Oh,
I got to hunt. And I'm
so
going
that's
hunting.
what you were doing. That's why you were crying.
What?
I'm kidding.
Well, I've cried a lot in the past 2-3 days.
Okay, because of Nick.
Huh?
Because of Nick.
No, I had an injury.
To what?
I'm just
Oh, I thought he was gonna talk about something.
okay.
Yeah, we got. I'm going to Power Slap though.
Neither
So
of
that'll
you
be-
have ever been to Vegas?
No.
I've been to Vegas. I went on a bachelor trip.
Oh, you did? How was
and then,
that?
Remember when I went on the bachelor trip, and then I was there for the Grammys.
Oh yeah, you went with.
What was
Yeah, you went with.
I went with my boy Rebby.
Yeah.
It was his bachelor party.
You're
yeah.
on a power slap.
Yeah, I'm going to Power Slap. Markel's gonna be there and stuff, so I'll meet up with him. But he might be there all weekend, so hit him up.
Yeah.
He said, "Is Tate going?" I said, "No, he doesn't want to be with us." I said, "No." He
I would
said he was
love to-
going to. He's busy.
I wish,
Busy, tired.
I know why they're not. Dude, I was honestly saying that to crack y'all up. Then I got hounded
wasn't
like
laughing.
a little hound dog.
Listen,
Fox and a hound.
sometimes
Like
I
little-
get in a mood.
Yeah, you were in the mood because you started hounding me, and then he's like, "We all busy. We ain't working on 9 to 5. We Gucci." My bad, brother.
How about he knew you were in a mood and you texted that shit about I texted 2 flights and he was like, "Oh, that fucking sucks." And I was like, I
Well,
texted
no,
him separately. I was
meant-
like, "Will you shut the fuck
I
up?"
was meaning try to find a better one. I
You're
didn't think
not
all of them
helping.
had 2 flights. Because then I'm thinking in my head, well, American Airlines, he was on
they
the
all
runway.
had 2 flights.
He was on the runway for 7 hours. Now we're gonna put him on 3 flights.
Dude,
And you were like, "That sucks." I'm like,
What if
"Kaden,
one?
shut
What
the
if one
fuck
got
up."
delayed?
I don't even think I read that. I think I just said okay, and then I just.
Yeah, yeah, you were mad.
I wasn't mad. I was just like, oh, well, I've already been through the worst. That 7 hour on the tarmac, bro. What the freaking crap was that,
Bro.
Sitting next to freaking Old Man River, like I gotta take up all fucking 6 seats.
Dude, the text had me crying.
Yeah,
Last episode, if y'all didn't see it, please go.
go
look.
watch that.
That was funny.
But Power Slap, so what I'm gonna do while I'm going is I told Dana White I wanted to see their techniques on how they're power slapping.
okay.
Because I'm gonna try to teach Dayle their
Yeah.
techniques. I really want to get power slapped and knock the fuck out. I do. I told her I want to be standing there. They got to hold that thing too, and if they drop it or get knocked out, they lose. I want to lose. I do. You think I want to win this round? No. Kaden, you gonna win? I hope not. All right, Dale, you got to use your core and your hips for this
Yeah.
one. Bro, have you seen some of those videos though of some of them dudes getting power slapped?
they're
No,
just
yeah, I can't
Oh my
imagine.
god!
I couldn't imagine.
The one dude knocked out, hit the table, and then
How do you stand there and not flinch?
You can show. They got mouth guards too, and they're like this.
You just
Gosh.
stand there.
Dude, the dude was
I think I
bleeding
could
just
take
from
it.
the hit right here. Just
I
from
think
the-
I'd be one of those that go this and just starts fucking laughing like, yeah, hit me hard.
I'd be knocked out. You were like
Did you lick that?
Did you? 2 hands. Oh, we're close. Are we close?
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be in Vegas. I wish we'd be, I wish we'd be at the same time, dude.
Yeah, you don't care though. That's how
I
it
do
comes
care.
down to.
But I care about other people and and being there for them. And I have to be there the 7th for Roman's birthday.
That's
And then I fly out the 8th. But after that, I don't give it yet. I'm going to be in the woods and I'm hunting.
what are we doing for my birthday?
I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I hate it for you. And because
He's gone.
you have the worst birthday. Your birthday is the day after Christmas. Why?
Yeah, people are busy.
Kelly? You couldn't wait a couple more days.
Greg probably couldn't.
Greg was like, "God, get him out of there." Fucking Greg in the hot tub probably right now, working and shit, watching the Packers.
Yeah, he's wild.
He is wild. That's where you get it from.
It is crazy because
Kelly
growing
is
up,
a little nasty too. You don't want to show.
of course, you can't
marry
be
Greg.
with someone. That's like Dayle. People don't know it. Oh, Dale's innocent. She hates you. No,
I mean, it's like Lindy too.
What'd she do?
Oh, you're just nasty.
Okay,
I'm just kidding. Sorry, Ravion. You're not nasty. I love you.
But yeah, growing up. Oh, maybe we could have a birthday party out of town. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Hope everyone enjoys with their family. Happy Christmas.
Yeah. How did that happen? Like, what were you?
I was
did you just
due
celebrate
January.
Christmas?
I was due January like 13th though. Came.
Oh, you
2
were
weeks
ready.
early. I always come early. I don't know.
That's probably a good Christmas present for your parents, though. And
Oh yeah, they said
your grandparents and.
they had Christmas with family, and my parents said, "Screw it, we're taking all the Christmas stuff down. Let's get it done now." Obviously, my mom, and dad grinding, water breaks in the kitchen. My dad said he had to lay about 5 beach towels down to soak it all
Gosh,
up.
damn. Oh, you were a wet little baby. Bet Kayla was pissed. No, it's Christmas. I don't want him to come yet.
They dropped her off at the neighbors. Bye.
She
We
was
gotta go to the
pissed.
hospital
Christmas and you come.
So what are you doing this year
for Christmas.
for your birthday?
I don't know. Are you busy,
I'll just be back at home.
dude? What do you want to do for my birthday? You know what I kind of want to do?
Packers game?
Do they play? I think they play on Christmas
Would it
Eve
have
or
to be
something.
on the 26th?
No, but what I want to do is Packers make the playoffs. Let's hope, or Ohio State makes the playoffs. Please win this fucking Saturday.
I think
noon.
they
Who's
got a
gonna
good
beat the
chance,
shit out
bro.
of Michigan.
I hope they win by 30. So, but here's the thing.
They're gonna kill them. Michigan's blowing shit this year.
I don't want to blow shit. But here's
Okay.
the thing. If they make playoffs, that's what I told Dayle I want as a Christmas or birthday present. Because we're not going to do like a bunch of gifts this year and stuff. 'Cause we got a lot going on. We're busy. Stop.
Yeah.
Tired.
Seriously.
No, for real. A lot going on. But I would love that. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. The 12-team playoff, it's hard to look now because last year I would tell you, oh, it's either here or here. You had 2 options. Now it's, you got 12 options.
Well, if they win the
Yeah.
Big Ten, they
6
get a
options.
bye.
Yeah. Which
So-
hopefully that one, they have to beat Oregon. If they win this week and then
Oh, fuck.
against
Oregon's
Oregon.
in the Big Ten. What are we doing
Yeah,
with the
stop doing
conference?
that shit.
They got to
The
switch some stuff.
ACC got teams from the West Coast. What? Change the name.
But
Change the
here's-
name of the conference.
But
Yeah.
so here's what I
Change
found.
everything.
I
Change
was,
me.
I was listening to the announcers, and I thought if you were in the East or West, it only comes to a top team here and a top team there. They said Ohio State because they're under Oregon right here. They said if Ohio State wins out, they play Oregon in the Big Ten. I didn't know it worked like that. Still, I thought it was.
I think they just combined.
And they
all
said,
the
"Fuck
SEC
it."
did the same thing.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know
that
how it
got me
works.
happy. Should we just go to the Big Ten? And it's in Indianapolis, an indoor stadium. It'll
Never
be
been.
warm.
Never been.
That'd be fun.
When's the Big Ten championship?
Probably 2 weeks, 3
Can't,
weeks.
Oh God,
can't go to the
no.
SEC championship. None of our teams are in it. DJ Lagway's nasty.
Speaking of
Lagway.
Florida and
Pissed.
LSU,
Turned it off.
you know what I texted Nick? You know what I texted? Wait, was he in a movie?
Yeah, I was in the mood.
I
was in
texted
the mood.
Nick.
And I was
Derek-
waiting for go Gators.
I wouldn't do that.
texted
You know,
him.
I wouldn't do
I
that.
texted him.
I was so
I
pissed.
texted
dude.
Nick, hey, you gonna dare you to text Tate? Go,
Dude, the thing is,
go Gator.
if Lindy can vouch for me, I said, I guarantee they're texting each other about my mood. I already knew it.
But
and
if you knew
I said,
that-
I guarantee you, when the Gators won, they texted each other.
We'd never do that.
He texted
Wait.
me and said, you should text Tate. And I was like, I
Bro,
can't do that.
I
hate when people
I
do
would-
that to me.
Yeah.
The
But
Gators
people do
haven't
that
been
to-
good.
you know,
I
for a
was waiting
while.
for Vic.
Okay.
Go
Yeah.
Gators, Tate. All right, Vic. I'll throw you in the water outside your house and watch you try to swim, boy. I'm just kidding.
I bet he does a lot of
Vic.
swimming.
I need to get Vic. God, there. I need to get Vic on here.
Yeah, we should. He's smart. Him and Nick can talk.
He's
Smartness.
very smart. I love me some Vic. Papa Vic. Yeah. Lost to the Gators. Lost to everyone, actually, because LSU's not doing so well. But we still have – Nussmeyer's still One of the top 10 quarterbacks, dude. Like
He's decent, but like something's
has
off.
some shit.
And Kelly, I don't know, bro. Something's off about just a bunch of shit.
We're all right. They're good. They're fine. Nussmeier, I wish him the best of luck. But this year's over with, brother. Hopefully we'll win a bowl game. I don't know.
The Gators are just wrecking people's lives right now.
Lagway, because Lagway came
LSU.
If
Lagway's
y'all-
4-0.
If y'all
Lagway's nasty.
started,
If he starts
him
and
at the
finishes the
beginning,
game.
if y'all started him at the beginning and your defense is playing like that, and y'all just had shit figured out, you'd have 6 or 7 wins. What are you at?
I think we're
5?
6 and 5 right now.
6
So
and
maybe
5,
8
4 and
wins.
4.
I
About to
don't
play
know.
trash FSU.
God, I want to be trashed.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So we go take shots after this.
It's in Tallahassee, too.
That's not. That's not fun.
What was
we
that?
shouldn't.
Tallahassee.
We've never
time
been
I've
to
gone-
Tallahassee together.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
Are you going to be in Crestview?
Yeah.
Who?
Not far. How
Yeah,
far
I'm
is
only
that?
2 hours from there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where did we officially
It's-
hang out first? Oh, it was Pensacola. Because remember we had a wedding up there.
Yeah, well, we'd already met, though.
Yeah, but we didn't do anything
St. Pete.
crazy yet, and we shoved them donuts down our throat.
Yes.
Jana was there and stuff.
Yes, and then
That's when
after
we
that,
really
though,
got. Then you moved down.
Yeah, after that, though,
That was
it was
crazy.
a wrap like a burrito.
You know what I
think?
think about burritos and tacos?
Okay,
They fold.
they do fold, don't they?
Speaking of fold,
I want everything to fold. I want everything to fold. I want to be folded like a little burrito. Sorry. What were you saying?
about what? Pensacola. I was just talking about. We forgot to say that how
Pensacola's
we met
where,
too.
yes, Pensacola's where I started my college career.
So I right when I got here, I just threw up some topics and stuff because I knew Dayle wasn't going to be here and we were going to talk about other stuff. But
Right.
I wanted some funny or juicy stories or something, and people are sending them in on Instagram.
Oh,
I'm not going to say their names.
yeah, we don't have to. Do
I
that.
wish I could though, and just call them out.
I want to be called
When
out.
my husband and I were first dating, a pillow caught on fire during sex. It was bad. How do you? Did you have candles laying around already for the first time? Maybe he was romantic. Maybe it spilled. Maybe you were pouring hot wax on her.
Yeah,
And
I
all of a
want to know
sudden-
all the details on that one. How do you catch a pillow? I want to
Yeah,
be doing that and
I
catch
do
a
want-
pillow on fire. I've been going to town.
I want to catch. I want to do a little friction with my legs, caught it, and catch a fire myself.
That's good though.
I'm a 29-year-old dating my son's 45-year-old wrestling coach. It's not too crazy, right? That's kind of hot.
Oh, it is
Imagine
kinda.
being the wrestler and you like look over and your mother's making out with your wrestling coach by the car.
Or they're wrestling.
Now what
I was
would
teaching
they?
her a move,
No,
son.
I was folding. She was a
Okay.
lawn chair. I'm sorry. I think people wanted me to talk about stuff too, but like someone said, keeping things spicy in a long-term relationship. But like I'm just,
In a long-term relationship, are they married?
that's all she said. But
Keeping
another
things
person was
spicy.
talking about how her husband shit himself on his daily run the other day.
You've been there.
Yeah, it's
You on a
terrible.
bike though. We've all. If you're a man and you
Shit
haven't
happens.
like once pooped yourself, you're not eating right.
Get your protein in, brother.
Come on, it'll hit you. You know,
It
like,
will.
sometimes you got to crap in your pants while you're driving.
Here's probably one of
boy
the most
Dakota did that.
disgusting ones that I see. Maybe the one that I like too.
Okay.
I seen a chick slap another bitch with a tampon she freshly removed. You're welcome. Now hear me out. You're walking down the hallway. Close your eyes. You're walking down the hallway, and you're just walking. You see a girl. She's got no, listen. She's got a skirt on. You see her bend over, like squat a little bit just to get it out because she can't just do it standing up, straight. She squats. She yanks it out. You see a little blood trickle on the floor.
see
Obviously, ain't gonna be dry.
Lick the blood up.
And all of a sudden, she smacks her. You see this girl just have blood all over her cheek. Maybe get some on her lip.
And
You watch her go like
she
this.
goes like this.
We're gross. We were thinking the same thing.
You turn around, I'm licking the blood up off the floor.
I think that's a wrap. Folks.
That's
we'll
good.
be out.
I'm so
All right.
sorry.
See.
I guess that's it. That's episode 3. Spit it out. All right. Love y'all. Spit it out.